Hey YouTube, what is going on? It is JackCR back here with another video, and today we're going to be doing the Pekka Bridge Spam versus Lavaloon in-depth guide. I wasn't even gonna do this yet, but I got 3 great Lavaloon replays on my battle log right now. Currently top 127 in the world, so these are all going to be very good games as they were very high up on ladder. One of them is a little bit of a weirder variant, but you guys can basically get the same the same match strategies, and I'll try and translate the match strategies because it was a little bit weird, but I think it'll still work. So, with the first replay was against Warrior. This is the one I was talking about. It's a little bit weirder. It's got Bats and Skarmy. So you guys can translate the Skarmy for the Barbs pretty much, and the Bats, the Skeleton Dragons, and I'll show you guys where it would have been different, so where the Skeleton Dragons would have been better. And then we have a game against Diego Sky MX right here, and then we have one more game down here against Trainer Guitar, and this is where we're going to start. So make sure if you guys enjoy these types of videos to give it a like, thumbs up, make sure to subscribe to the channel, and comment below if you guys enjoyed this type of video with no live games. It'll be these 3 replays plus 1 or 2 more that I get along the way. So without further ado, we'll hop right into the first game against Trainer Guitar here. So in this matchup, it's really, really bad for you if they kind of like lava first play, because you basically are screwed. If you suppress your opposite lane too aggressively, they'll just take your tower, and uh, that'll be not great, because the tower trade is good. It's good, but it's like not the best. Um, but yeah, so I just go in with a Magic Archer to start with. Actually, tower trades are good. I don't even know what I'm talking about, but he decides to defend here, and he does have ample defenses, so we just kind of have to let that go. We let it. He goes Skeleton Dragon, so I poison, and then quickly Ewas before they can lock onto my Magic Archer. And I just use both my air counters on this Lava Hound, which is fine by me, because he's going to punish with the balloon. That's going to be alright. I can now ghost at the bridge, and you may be thinking, well, you just lost your tower. There's going to be a tower trade there. And you kind of be right, except that I have my Zap. And so a pro tip here is that you can ignore a balloon, and if you can tower trade, you can let the lone balloon get to your tower, and then with the zap, it'll only get 2 hits. Even when he zaps, it'll still only get 2 hits. So I think that's a really nice tip, and I employ it here. And that's going to give us a 1 tower advantage, and I have 900 HP left on my other tower. So here, I just punished same lane. My goal here was to get out the Barbs, and the reason why was because, look, he has no elixir, so if the Barbs had been there, it would have been 1 more elixir. I just had to poison the bridge, and then my air counters would have been there. He wouldn't have been able to protect his he wouldn't have been able to support his lava, excuse me, very well. So I just go again with the Magic Archer in the back, in line with the Inferno Dragon. I knew he was going to miner, so we go in with our Pekka, and now we just have to sacrifice the tower. We don't have much elixir, so the goal here is to try and get a nice counter push going. So the tower does die, and the lava's going to line up, and so I time my Ewas really perfectly here, and 2 of the pups are just killed instantly, and now now you have the Ewas to help kill these skeleton dragons. So he's hovering his barbs. He goes with the barbs on the Ewas, and I take his tower pretty much with that Pekka. So here we were looking pretty good until he went with that balloon. That was a well played balloon. I kind of just panicked to zap there. That was not a great zap. I played the Magic Archer to try and kill a Skeleton Dragon and then finish off the balloon, and he ends up zapping my Ghost. So I set up with my Battle Ram in the opposite lane, and then I try and finish off this tower here with a Bandit, and it isn't going to happen here. And because he protects his tower really well with the skeleton dragons. And so here I just have to reset. We're just gonna have to be calm about this. And he goes in with the lava hound. I poisoned. I need this tower down. And the reason why I want this tower down is because with both towers down, they can't cover both lanes of attack. It's 2 lanes of attack for 1 target, and that's so good for Pekka, because their barbs aren't going to be able to cover both lanes adequately. They need all 5 in 1 lane to be able to kill your pushes. So I want that tower dead. This Lavaloon Inferno Dragon push isn't very scary, because I know I have 10 elixir here. I can pressure both lanes and just put down a quick Ewas on the Inferno Dragon, which is going to end up passing the Lava Hound. And I could kind of tell because it was not all the way behind. So that is why I decided to poison instead of gambling the Ghost was going to finish the tower. And he plays his barbs to kill my Ghost immediately. So now I go in with the Pekka Battle Ram push, and you can see he's low on elixir, and he's not going to be able to 3-crown me anytime soon, especially since the king is now targeting the Inferno Dragon. He does have another Inferno Dragon up top. That's not a big worry, because my Battle Ram is there. He doesn't have enough splash damage, so all I have to do is zap that Inferno Dragon, and my Pekka is going to connect to his king. So that's basically what happens here. He throws a miner to the back to pull my Pekka. I zap his Inferno Dragon, And yeah, that Inferno Dragon is not going to do enough damage. I spam a Bandit just to be sure, and he's at 703. Bandit's going to dash. He didn't have any ground answers, 3 HP. The barbs weren't doing enough damage, and that was a really nice game to show like how you kind of want to pressure and how you kind of want to defend. That was not an normal defense, but you could face that kind of like attack. So it's always good to know like how you should try and defend that there. Magic archers in the corner are also a big tip here. You don't want to play it behind your king. And the reason why is when it walks up, then it's going to be near your tower by the time it's targeting the Lava Hound. So that means when you play your Ewiz, you're either going to have to expose it really high into the middle of his push that's coming in from the right, like near the side, because that's where most Lava Hound pushes are. You just expose your Ewiz to all of those units or give them a bunch of arrows value. So that's why I like going in the corner, because you can place your Ewiz farther away into the center to target what you need it to target and avoid arrows and minor value. So make sure that your first air unit is always cycled in the back corner and not behind your king tower, just to avoid the arrows value. Sometimes it can save you really hard if they can't hit both of those units. All right, so going into the next match against Diego Sky MX. This match didn't start out very well, but it ended up turning out very well, which is where it counts. So we both send out the good lucks here to start out the game, and he goes with Skeleton Dragons in the back first play. I didn't have any idea what this was, so I just Ewiz the back. In this situation, that's probably my best play, except versus this deck. Versus this deck, I'd have wanted to go Battle Ram, but we do end up going Battle Ram to combo with the Ewiz since my Ewiz was still alive. And we ignore the one Skeleton Dragon on the right. I just couldn't do anything about that. So now I Ghost down low so I don't bleed, but those barbs do die, so my Ghost will try and come out with as much HP as it can. So whiffs a second, but then it goes and finishes off the swing. So he just chooses to ignore it, and he goes Lava in the back. So I make a really big mistake here. And you might be thinking, well, what's the mistake? And the mistake was putting the Magic Archer directly behind my King Tower. I should have been putting it in the right corner, because right now what's going to end up happening is if he plays a Balloon or an Inferno Dragon behind it, I'm going to have to play my Ewiz right in the middle of the push to avoid giving him arrows value. I have to play it really high up near the bridge where he can just play a quick Skeleton Dragons or Inferno Dragon or something on it to assassinate it. So what I would have wanted to do was put my Magic Archer in the corner so that when it walked up, I could place my Ewiz in the center of the arena and have it target things from there, and it wouldn't be as exposed. It'll still be pretty exposed, but it wouldn't be as exposed. Sometimes that can really save you in the game. So we'll go, and he's going to end up going with the Inferno Dragon, I believe, here. I cycle a Bandit in the back. I didn't really have a good hand, and see, I'm stuck placing my Ewiz either where I can give him arrows value up at the top. So here, he goes with the Inferno Dragon and the Miner, so I just go with my Ewiz in the opposite lane. Bandit does dash onto his tower, and I play my Battle Ram too. I wanted to try and take both towers here, or at least get the right tower down, at least. But the Ghost comes back, so the Ewiz is going to end up having to go alone on that other tower. But it does bring it down to poison range. Poison doing 264 damage at max level. So now I go with the Magic Archer, and that placement that'll avoid death damage, kill both lanes, and give me support. Unfortunately, this Skeleton Dragon just decides to long ball, and my Bandit doesn't take his other tower down to poison range or even down. I could have taken it down if I hadn't played my Bandit, if I had waited a second more on my Bandit. But he is going to end up playing his Inferno Dragon, and that's really good for me, because an Inferno Dragon taking 3 or 4 Magic Archer shots is not going to do basically anything to your tower. It's going to tickle it, do 200 or 300 damage maybe. So I go with my Pekka knowing that it's not going to get any damage. See how full HP my Pekka is? That's really good for me. So here I go with the Battle Ram to force out his barbs. I wanted to get those barbs out of cycle, and then we just poison the bridge here to get rid of them. And then I play my Ghost as well to kill them quickly, so they don't do anything in my... none of them survive the poison, and B, to go and try and take his tower here. So now we have the Pekka walking towards his king. I place my Magic Archer right there, and that is a really nice Magic Archer placement for me. It's going to be targeting both Skeleton Dragons. And let me unpause it real quick. As you can see, the other Skeleton Dragon is now taking 2 hits. Just zap the Inferno Dragon. Now he doesn't have anything, and we were able to 3-crown him because he went in with the Lava Loon. And so that is going to show you that when they go with Lava Loon, you can usually pressure opposite lane. And if you can pressure both lanes, they're not going to be able to defend one. They just spent 12 elixir. They're not going to be able to defend one of those lanes. And we are able to just 3-crown him before we could even build up enough elixir to try and defend. So now going into the final match up here against Warrior, we have him playing the same deck except with Skarmy and Bats. So the Skarmy and the Bats are much easier for me, but they're still pretty difficult. So here he goes in with the Lava Hound in the back first play. Another very skillful play going Lava in the back. Now it's actually the best play for this deck because then you can usually like get a good starting hand on them. So this time I play my Ewiz in the corner. You always want to be playing the first defensive troop in the corner. I was not aware that he had the Skarmy, so my zap was a little bit late, but we do end up using it, and so now my I send in a bandit to pressure, knowing he doesn't have much elixir. So this matchup is always about pressuring when they have low elixir, because you can take towers under their noses with your bridge spam units, and they won't try and defend it because they need their ground units for bigger units like the battle ram and the Pekka. So they're let a bandit get through. I didn't know if he, well, I didn't know if he had bats, or I didn't know what he had at this point, other than that he had Skarmy for barbs. So here, I place my ghost to keep my Ewiz alive just a little bit longer, and that ghost is going to go invisible, and it's got plenty of HP to take his tower. So here, this is really good for me. Our tower is at 61 HP, but my ghost is there. It's going to get plenty of hits to take out his tower. He goes in with the bats. I zapped him real quick. I assumed he had the bats, so I was basically ready, but I wasn't sure, and then when he played the bats, I was sure, obviously. So, about even on elixir here. Now, this tower being alive is really nice for me because he's going to have to spend just any amount of elixir and one of his counters to take it. So that's an arrows, a zap, a miner. That's basically any amount of elixir on that tower. And that means I can use that tower as like a resource because he's not going to be able to take it during the middle of his push unless he is guaranteed the other tower. So again, here, he goes in with 12 elixir. Look at his elixir bar. He has basically nothing. So I know that I need to get back to my zap because I need to be able to kill his Skarmy, and I need to be able to kill his Inferno Dragon real quick. So I go in with the Ghost and the Ewiz because my zap is right after. So if I play 2 cards, the Battle Ram will come into my hand, and then the zap will be in my hand and be ready to go. And this is why me having that tower was so important, and this is why I was actually going all in on this push. He does not 3-crown me here with both towers up. With one tower up here, if I had lost that tower completely, he would have 3-crowned me. I would have had to have spent to defend, and I would have lost the game. This tower being up means I can completely ignore this and spend all of my elixir on the attack. And this is basically how I was able to win because of that tower. That tower being up is so key. So here we go. I play my ghost, I play an Ewiz, and he plays a miner, and then he plays bats. So I know he's going to have his Skarmy in just a second. So as you can see, I have my poison selected, and so here I have to do a little bit of, I have to do a little bit of logic right here. I have a Pekka, a ghost, and a bandit. My Ewiz is targeting the Inferno Dragon, and he's not getting enough or that Inferno Dragon, the Ewiz is the biggest problem, excuse me. The Ewiz is the biggest problem for him. So he needs to use his Skarmy on my Ewiz and not up near his King Tower to try and protect the rest of his push. So I take a gamble and that he's going to Skarmy the Ewiz, and I pre-poison the bridge. And as you can see, we were able to hit it. None of the skeletons get a hit. Now our Ewiz is full, it's not full HP, but it's enough. And now he has the arrow zap, and that's going to be a good game. Even if the Pekka had died, he still would have lost. So that game will kind of teach you, like, sometimes you're going to have to make weird plays to win the games, and that second tower being up was so key. So if you can save your towers without overcommitting, make sure you do. So those were the first 3 replays. I will catch you guys next time I record, which will be with one or two more replays, and I'll see you then. Alright, so these are going to be the final 2 games for the Lava Hound guide. I have just gotten them in the past day or two, and I'm sorry if this is going to be uploaded on the last day of the season, but my internet at my dad's house is really bad. It takes like an hour and a half to upload these videos, so I might have to wait until tomorrow to upload it, but I'll try and get it out tonight. So we'll just go right into the game. There are going to be 5 games on this guide, 4 with this variation of the deck, and then 1 more with the Skarmy Bats version and the previous 3 recordings from a couple weeks ago. So in this game, things were not looking amazing to start out with, but I was able to clutch it up, which was nice. So he cycles Skeleton Dragons in the back after I go with my Ghost, and I go with my Ewiz in the back. So at this point, it could have been a lot of things, but he goes with a Miner at the bridge. So now I know it's going to be Lava, because that's basically the only Miner Skeleton Dragons deck in the meta right now. So right here, I know that I have to pressure because I just used one of my 2 air counters, and this one is the only one that can output enough DPS. So I got to get something going. I knew he was gonna barbs. He's gonna have to barbs at some point if you wanted to kill that Pekka, because otherwise I would just go with my Ewiz. So here I banned it, and I want to take that tower as soon as I can, so that I can have so that I can have access to his king tower with a Pekka Ewiz at the bridge next time he goes in for a lava hound. Because at this point, look at how much elixir I'm down. I'm losing this tower, dude. I'm down like 6. I overcommitted because I tried to save that Ewiz. We're going to lose this tower. That's not even a question. So I'm gonna do my best to limit the attack though, so that he doesn't get much damage on my king tower. Because if he gets too much damage on my king tower, and I, for instance, just let this go after he kills this magic archer, I won't be able to push again because I'm going to be too busy defending my king. So here we go with a zap to save that magic archer. The skeleton dragon is going to get hit a little bit. The magic archer is there, and it's going to help me finish off his balloon. And the magic archer getting a ton of value. That zap was well worth it. It's going to limit basically all damage there. So the ghost is just going to get on the tower. He's going to have to let it go. So at this point, I know his cycle is not very good. I know in his hand he's got his spells, because he didn't use any spells on his attack. And he's got the Inferno Dragon on the Barbs, because he played the Barbs a long time ago, and he hasn't played an Inferno Dragon yet. So I know the other 4 cards that he played on that attack are out of his cycle. So right here, my hope is to throw a Battle Ram at the bridge, get his Barbs out of hand. So I'll start playing that, so that I can go Pekka Ewiz towards his King Tower. And that means if I get his Barbs out here and he doesn't lava the pocket, which is what he's going to do, spoiler alert. If he had lava the back here, he would have lost. Because I go Pekka Ewiz the bridge. Skeleton Dragons are still far out of hand. Mine are still far out of hand. He can't stop the Pekka. So here, we're just gonna have to get off of value poison. I go with my ghost to kill those barbs quickly. Go with an Ewis to save that magic archer for a little bit. He goes in with the balloon, which is well played on his end. But the magic archer is gonna come out. So here he goes with the arrows. So now I know with my king tower up and the damage that balloon took, it's only gonna get 2 hits, which means I have one more chance to attack, and I'm gonna have to go for the 3 crown because he's gonna win a 2 tower game here. If I try and go for that second tower, he's gonna win because he'll be able to 3 crown me quicker. So if I go for the 3 crown and I cut him off before he even takes a second tower, we will be able to win the game. So I go with a battle ram at the bridge. We're setting up for the push. I'm going to go with a Pekka. And look at how much elixir he was down. I knew that he was going to be down a ton after that value poison. So we just set up with a magic archer. We're going to try and get as much damage as we can. The barbs are going to be on my barbs are going to be on his barbs. We're going to zap. His barbs are now dead. The Inferno Dragon is on the magic archer. Pekka's there. It's going to get 2 hits. I go with an Ewis to reset the Inferno Dragon. We didn't even need that Ewis. And with 12 seconds left, Poison will finish off the game. Poison does 264 at max level, and I had more than 8 seconds to finish it off. So even if he had taken this tower here before like the game ended, I would have gotten the win. So that was a really nice win. You can see how, like, in this matchup, if you're able to think ahead, like when I was able to just think ahead a little bit and say, okay, if I do this battle ram and he plays his barbs, because that's what is in cycle, I could basically win the game on the next push if he doesn't do this play, which wasn't a very common play. That's not a common play what he did, but he still did it. So it ended up working out after the fact because we were able to 3 count him anyway because he put himself down so much elixir. So now we're gonna scroll down. Right here to the replay against H&H Zafkiel. And as you can see, I think every single one of the games that I won for this video was a 3 crown. And that's just gonna show you guys, to win this matchup, you have to 3 crown. Because like Lava Loon is taking your tower. Unless you were able to sack 2 magic archers and they're down a ton of elixir, a Lava Loon push will take your tower. And so you've got to make sure that you take their towers back. So I see a miner, and then I see an Inferno Dragon, so I'm guessing it's either going to be Mega Knight Bait, which isn't very popular, or Lava Hound. And so here I have a pretty awkward cycle. So he goes in with the barbs, and I know I just gotta poison those. There's not gonna be an efficient defense for me that's gonna allow me to keep my air units in hand. So here I think, what do I do? I Pekka, because right, okay, so this is why I Pekka, because he's got the Lava Hound in hand, and I knew he had no Inferno Dragon or Barbs, and I could kill that Inferno Dragon for like 7 elixir, but that 7 elixir would be at full HP. So here we go with the Magic Archer. He's gonna pull the Pekka back, and so this is fine by me. He's very low on elixir right now, and so I'm going to Ewiz, because I know that he's not going to be able to support this push very well. So again, Very nice here. We just go with a Battle Ram to tank this Skeleton Dragon, and this is going to allow my Ewiz to kill his pups for no damage, and we're going to force out Barbs as well as get that Battle Ram connection, and my Ewiz is still alive. And so this is going to be really helpful for multiple reasons. Look at that. Forced out the Zap. Now the Barbs are going to be coming down, and I'm going to go with a Ghost, and then I zap them too, so that my Ghost has Counter Push. And I think it was well worth it since he zapped my Ewiz, because my Ghost lives, and now I can do this and force out more Skeleton Dragons, and that's going to keep him from pushing for until double Elixir, which is really nice. We have his tower down to 1000 HP, and we've defended ours pretty well. So here, I know I have to let these Skeleton Dragons go because I need my air counters. I need to be able to save both of these air counters for this push. No air counters, or like only one air counter means instant loss. So here, I just Pekka the bridge, knowing he has no Barbs in cycle, so I can go with a quick little Ewiz right there. And look at this. We're going to force out Barbs here on that Pekka, and we're just going to spam. And actually, hold on. Not even on the Pekka. In my head, in this game, I was thinking about it like this was just something that popped into my head as I was thinking he was going to try and kill that Ewiz. So I go with my Ghost, because now I can go Ghost, Zap, and the Pekka's going to take that tower. And now I have access to pressuring his king when he goes in for that balloon, because he's going to be playing on 0 Elixir here. So I do zap those Barbs. Unfortunately, the Ewiz dies. Little bit, not the most awesome interaction. And then unfortunately, again, the Inferno Dragon is going to come back and help out killing that Pekka. So now he's just spending so much elixir that I'm going to go in for a Battle Ram here, and we're going to bait out Skeleton Dragons. I just needed to get like my cycle correct so that I could have my Ewiz and I can defend this push. So I play it in the opposite lane, just getting ready to 3-crown him if he tries to set up. So now we're looking all right. I do poison that lower Lava Hound so that his pups don't die, and now he's going to Miner. And this is a really big push. So actually, I was wrong. This wasn't a 3-crown. I thought misread that crown total. He goes with a Miner. I have the poison down, and that's going to kill those pups and the Skeleton Dragon. And now he's going to be busy defending. But that Skeleton Dragon Lava Loon push on my Arena Tower is going to take it very quickly if I'm not very careful. So I need to make sure that I take this tower. So the Ghost is going to lock on, and I'm going to do a Magic Archer play right here. And that Magic Archer chips through the Miner, hits the tower. I zap. And now the tower's at 100. Magic Archer finishes it off. The Lava Hound is barely not, or it's not going to do enough damage. I had my Ewiz anyway too, and so that is going to be GG. 5 replays there for this Lava Hound video. I hope this guy helps you. I don't think this deck is going to get nerfed. It's going to get the Skeleton Dragons nerfed, but I don't think that this deck will go away. So I think this guide should be useful for at least a little while until another card in this deck gets nerfed, which it is a pretty nerf-proof deck, excuse me. So, yeah, like I said before, hope you guys enjoyed. Hope this helps you out, and have a good day. Peace.